Choya I ano oya the ki. Coming in through center. Doro oya I. As we attempt to come in to the body, to realize the miscommunication and misunderstanding, Doro otana kai choya ata I. So what we're seeing here is that as we enter the body to process emotions, coming in with this question of what am I feeling? What am I experiencing? What do I need in this moment? There's a major bypass or distraction that occurs at the base of the brain here, and through the back of the neck, and it is connected to this range within the gut, this fear implant, which quite literally makes it impossible to get back into the body. Chohoya, the I, choshoya, the ki, and also causes this mental externalizing or searching or looping through the mind where we are trying to figure out or think what it is that we are needing. Choro otana kai choshai. And this causes a deep sense of disconnection from the self or dissociation. So coming in here now to reroute through the discrepancies here. Also feeling that when we get, I want to call it mentally ejected from our feelings through this bypassing, we enter into this other realm, in a sense, is what it feels like. And we're almost stuck here, trapped here, yet it feels like we're working to process things. It's a completely different feeling than being in the body and connected to the body. And yet at the same time, it's so familiar. It's a familiar state of being. And yet what I'm hearing is that it's almost like when something is anodized. So there's a coating, choro otana kai choshai chano koya, the oya shoshana chosho oya, which in some sense acts like a protective layer, but it's really this shutting out Doro okoya choshana from the actual energy that is flowing here. And as we look at how we come back into this, once we've been ejected, let's say, there's a great deal of fear that comes up here. So this is incredibly difficult to sit with. And really keeps us running in circles. The interesting thing is that we experience this looping, which is actually a good sign because it means that we are continuously attempting to connect to ourselves. If we were comfortable with the disconnection, or if that served us, we wouldn't be experiencing this feeling of negatively looping in this way. Good. So that helps calm the system here. Knowing that the negative effect of this is actually pointing us in the right direction. Which is really a wonderful perspective to have with so much of this work. Not to necessarily think something is wrong with you, but that what is it that you are searching for? What is it that you cannot see clearly yet? And actually the way it comes up is, what is it that you cannot see beyond yet? And a huge release through the ears with this. So repatterning the way we perceive this through shame-based analysis. Chara otana ki chohoya takai. So coming into the left side of the field here now. Just reuniting these ranges. Tara ano koya. Having compassion for the human, the part of you that is searching and desiring to feel better. Tata ono koya chishina I chokoya. Tara o chisha I. Choro otana ki chokoya takai chisha I. Chotokai chisha I. There's something about this idea of ferrous metals here. Chano otaki chisha oya. Choro otanaki chusha I. Choro otanaki chusha I. This property, choro tatana I, or characteristic to rust, tatano oya chusha I chohoya, almost leaching its components. And so something is coated or covered up to prevent this from occurring. And feeling this through the left side of the heart, this comparison to leaking out as if my emotions or my feelings are negative and contagious. Contagious in an unhelpful or negative way. And so this feeling of needing to keep them contained, and therefore this desire to have something wrap around them to hold them in. So it is where we can see a subconscious desire to be neatly wrapped up. That calls in this. Again, it's showing as a fear implant, which is interesting because it doesn't even seem like those two things would be correlated. And yet it looks like, well, a fear implant would serve that purpose perfectly. Keep you from revealing too much to not others as much as your own self. Okay, so where are we in fear of revealing ourselves to ourselves? And this brings us back to the base of the brain here, where, of course, in many ways, we were programmed to understand that expressing ourselves in many ways felt obsolete, as in it's not required, it's not necessary, it's not helpful, it only causes more issues. There's a better way to process or to get through life. But I absolutely have this sense that there's a feeling of being outdated, that we can override this with something better. Is the belief that was projected upon us. And so then, of course, we create a world where feelings and emotions are not necessary. Feelings and emotions cause turmoil or fear. And yet it is life-giving. It is the nutrients in the soil that helps us grow strongly, steadily, boldly and profoundly. So coming here into the base of the spine, feeling this desire to root into the earth. And perhaps that word is even a bit triggering, because it brings up, is the earth even healthy enough for us? So the desire to root into what is nourishing, what is supportive, what is life-giving, even life-altering, chara atano koya, life-altering, chara otaki, which feels like the threshold that we are at now, chara otanai ki chohoya, the need to alter this process. So all of this deeply at the base of the spine here, chara atanaki, bringing the light forward here, chara otanaki. As we do that, feeling the throat starting to release, chahono otanaki chashoya. So it seems that the suggestion here is that when you start to work to connect to the emotions, to the feelings in the body, and you feel as if you are getting ejected out into your mind, you start overthinking, this level of distraction from the body, away from the body, it's to focus on the base of the spine actually, and feeling held, feeling nourished, to imagine yourself in a space, in a place that feels supportive and life-giving. And that place may not actually exist for you. And this is where you imagine it to be so. What would this feel like internally? And I'm getting that this returns you to this state of peace within where you can access fully. Not to actually focus on the feelings and emotions, because again, it's this almost automatic rejection or ejection out of the body. So focusing on the base of the spine, feeling supported and nourished, allows you to experience your emotions. There's something about trying to feel your emotions which feels very mental. And I wonder if this is a process we've never even been able to activate or explore yet. What is it to sit in the experience of emotion and feeling? And more than that, it seems like sitting in the ocean of the truth of who you are. It's not even necessarily about defining what is it that I'm feeling, although that is a way to start the process, chohoya, but it seems like a much greater experience here that we have been missing out on. Feeling this now through the sacral range. Yes, and this becomes a bit physically uncomfortable. I can feel the crown starting to open here. This is, again, feels like something we have not yet experienced, and it feels enormous and overwhelming, as if we are in a spaceship and the roof above us suddenly starts to open, and the raw power is revealed to us. The atmosphere, so being exposed to a completely different atmosphere here, and again feeling all of this through the front of the throat. Okay, so let's walk through this experience now. Breathing in and sinking into the base of the spine where you are sitting, just allowing yourself to feel your body supported here, feeling the floor beneath you or the chair beneath you, wherever you might find yourself, feeling what is seated beneath you and resting into this, allowing the hips to relax here. You may even start to become aware of the tightness in the belly and the chest, all of the ways you have been bracing against humanity, for the humanity that we have been exposed to, the humanity that we know is not what is accurate about us. So resting here through these seeds, through the base, through the root. It's almost as if when we talk about feeling our feelings and emotions, what we are doing is connected to the programmed piece within us, and to really get to the truth of our truths, ourselves, and what will then be our feelings and emotions through the human body, we have to start at the base, through the root, which is a very different experience and process. So seeding in here through the root, through the base, beginning to acclimate to taking up space within the body. Again, it's showing here very strongly that our experience within the body has been a programmed state. So starting at the bottom, starting at the base, opening up the floodgates here, and just allowing ourselves to sit in this feeling and beginning to notice, beginning to experience what arises from there. This is the truth of your experience, not the survival of your experience. Good. Starting to feel this breaking down through the lower back. So continuing to focus here, plugging yourself in here, connecting deeply, feeling this through the lymph now, all the way up into the ears, this feeling of fullness and sensitivity, and how wonderful it feels to be flooded with the truth of your soul. Washing through the body, through the field, clearing out the debris, the quiet, the stillness after the storms. Rooting into the truth, sovereign truth. Just continuing to feel the releases through the hips. This is where it starts, but you'll start to notice other parts of your body, places where the structure of your body connects, the joints, the ligaments, the tendons, starting to soften and shift. The fabric of symmetry, realigning here. Polarity, releasing this. And all that is undefined now in your field through the truth of your soul. And so it is.